Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. You know how you can have a sister-in-law, a mother-in-law, a daughter-in-law? Well, I was wondering what the term would be for somebody who's married to your great nephew. So I did a little research, and they're actually called your great niece-in-law. So here she is, my great niece-in-law, Julie Ainscow. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Nancy.
Oh, no, you have to call me now your great aunt-in-law.
Right. Hi, great aunt-in-law.
Kind of a mouthful, isn't it?
It is.
I thought it would be fun to see if that really was a term, and apparently it is.
That's super fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about you. You're a wife and a mother of two boys, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And you're a teacher.
Yes.
So now there was a point where, because of the COVID-19, that the schools were shut down.
That's right. Yeah.
So were you homeschooling your boys at that time?
Yeah. So at that time, everything went online. And so, yeah, I had the boys at home and then I was teaching online at that time as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, because, you know, when my kids were in school, like, they were much better behaved for the teachers than they were when they were at home. I never homeschooled them, but I'm just wondering if your kids were, did they behave as if you were their teacher, like at school, or were they your mom and were pushing your buttons, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's really funny. Yeah. When you jump into that position and you have to wear a different hat because then you're the teacher and the mom. So yeah, you do definitely see a little bit of a difference in roles, and they were pretty good about it. But there definitely were some challenges and some awkward times where we were figuring it out and, you know, thinking, okay, well, now you have to listen to me as a teacher. So yeah, it definitely posed some challenges.
Although your boys are not really bad boys anyway, as far as I
No,
know, right? So.
no, they're pretty good, and they jumped into it really well. They transitioned into the online learning and home learning very well, and we were fortunate because I was at home and James was also at home at that time, so we had the supports in place and we just kind of figured it out as we went.
Right. Well, in case they get to see this, I'm just going to say, hi, Nicholas. Hi, Cameron.
Awesome.
So how long was this shut down for?
Well, they did not return back to school because kids had, or I guess families had the choice of whether or not to send their kids back to school. And it only went back to, less than half the capacity of students went back to school. Most families, at least where I teach, kept their kids at home. So we only had, you know, a few kids return to the school, and the rest were still doing online learning at that time. Yeah.
Are you a teacher at the same school as where your kids go?
No, I teach at a different school. It's local. It's very close to us as well, but I teach at a different school.
Okay. So now, when it was time for the children to go back, how did you feel about that? Like, were you at all concerned with the COVID?
Yeah, definitely. There was lots of concern because you just wonder and worry how it's all going to transpire. So definitely had concerns. I mean, as a teacher, I was at the school back in May and June when we did go back to the face-to-face learning in the classroom. So I had some comfort knowing that when I was in the classroom, we did everything that we could to keep the kids as safe as possible. And we were washing our hands a lot, and the kids had to get used to that, and, you know, keeping our physical distance. And we had just a lot of learning took place in that respect, with helping the kids remember, you know, we're not doing our regular small group and close interactions that we normally promote a lot at school. So yeah, it took a lot of teaching and in-class time to kind of get familiar with that. Mm-hmm. And so as a parent and a teacher, I had a little bit of comfort knowing that I had already been in the classroom and seen how it was working and how much time and effort we had put into that and trying to keep them as safe as possible. So I had comfort knowing that, for sure, sending them back. But you still worry as a parent, and you hope everything goes well and that, you know, everybody stays as safe as possible.
Yeah, one of the things I heard people talk about is that so some of the children, they have maybe their grandparents at home or whatever who have compromised health system, and if those children playing in the schoolyard or whatever, then if they happen to get the virus, or not the symptoms, but if they're carrying it, bring it at home to their elderly parents or grandparents, right? So that was a concern for people.
That's a huge concern. Yeah. And even personally, I mean, we have our own parents helping us with our childcare as well. And yeah, you don't want to bring home COVID for sure. And in our communities, we have lots of families that have intergenerational family situations. And that was a huge concern for them. So I think in our community, we've had a lot of kids right from the get-go wearing masks at school, and that was their priority for their families, to send their kids back to school wearing the masks and knowing they were going to be as safe as they could. But it's not like that everywhere. I mean, the masks are not mandatory, and having that concern of bringing home the virus was a very real concern for many families, and still is.
Yeah.
So
yeah. By the way, what grades do you teach?
I'm in kind of a unique situation this year. So I'm actually teaching right from grade 3 all the way up to grade 7 this year. So I'm teaching at 2 schools.
Oh, two.
And yeah, 2 schools this year. And I'm teaching a variety of classes. I teach a blended class 1 day a week. And that, so for Surrey, the students had an option of doing blended learning. And what that entails is they learn online in the morning, and then they have the option to come to school in the afternoon if they want to, if they decide that that's what they want to do. So on Wednesdays, I do that, and I have a grade 5, 6, 7 class for that.
Okay.
So that's one class. Then I teach a grade 3, 4 class 2 days a week.
Right.
And that's at the same school. And then I'm at another school and I teach a few classes health, and I teach a couple classes French. So I have a real mixed bag this year. Right. And it just happens circumstantially, but it's giving me a whole variety of experiences and new things to learn and try. So
yeah. Hey, I had no idea you spoke French.
Yeah, I do. I try my best, and I do have the family, we have the family connection there. So
I'm going to check you next time we have a gathering in person. I'm going to start talking to you in French.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not being put to the test right now.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. Another thing I'm wondering about is when the kids came back to you, the kids that you teach, that were homeschooling for whatever length of time, were they current with their learning? Like, did you find that any of them hadn't kept up or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. That's a really interesting question. Usually we do find after the summer break, there is a bit of a transition time anyways, just getting our brains working again. Yeah. And, getting comfortable back in the classroom. But I do think that this year especially posed more of a transition, just with easing the kids back into school and getting comfortable again, and remembering how we act at school, and how there's many of us and we need to work together and take our turns and stuff. So I do see some gaps and things like that, just because there was that quite a big chunk of time where we were out of school. Yeah. So I think I have seen it, and definitely there's gaps because, you weren't teaching all of the regular units that you do. We didn't have the same amount of time or the resources as you do when you have the kids in the classroom. So yeah, I think there is some gaps there, but the kids are pretty resilient, and they do get back into things pretty quickly.
Now, I just want to switch topics totally, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
It's still about school and children, but I'm just wondering about bullying. We hear a lot about that these days, right? Because we know what children can be like. And unfortunately, I find that a lot of times that people want to even if it's off school grounds, people want to blame the school system. Like, why aren't the teachers doing something where you might not even know anything about it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna imagine your school is no tolerance for bullying, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we do our best to, be aware and to try to make sure that we are making a safe space for the kids, making them know that if they need help, or that there's lots of people that they can trust and talk to at school.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
Has there been any that you know of? I'm not asking you to name names, of course, but have you been aware of any?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Over the years, definitely bullying has occurred, and continues to be something that we always are teaching to the students. This week happens to be Pink Shirt Day, of bullying awareness. So you're right on topic there with that. And so, it provides the opportunity for us to make it very aware, or very explicit in our teaching and our lessons, and bringing up sort of the social skills involved with standing up to bullies, and helping one another, and recognizing the signs if students are being bullied, or what to do if your friend is being bullied. So we try as best we can to be proactive with that, and promoting inclusive and safe environment for all kids.
I'm glad you mentioned that, inclusive, because Chilliwack just had a by-election for school board trustees, and one of the things they're trying to bring strongly to Chilliwack is that all inclusiveness. That if I'm a parent or a grandparent or whatever, and I had a child who wasn't, I don't want to say the word straight, I don't like that, but who was maybe gay or bi, or whatever it was, I would want to know that child will be as welcome as anybody else in that school, right?
Yeah, yes.
And I think the person I was talking to, Dr. Karen Bondar here in Chilliwack, and she was saying that it's so important, and that if we get the children when they're young, right, to teach them when they're young, because that, and especially coming from teachers, for some reason that teachers have more clout with the kids than sometimes than parents do,
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of kids also get their learning, their bias and their prejudice from their parents, which is unfortunate. Now I believe you also live in an area where there are a lot of maybe multiracial area. Are you? Racial?
Yeah. Oh,
did I say that right?
yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Our population is very diverse here in Surrey. And yeah, so definitely we have all sorts of things to consider with inclusivity.
Yeah, it's
And
a tough word.
yeah, so you know what, you just hit the nail on the head, because even just last week we were talking about that in my class of grade 3s and 4s, about bullying and anti-bullying, and the awareness of including others, and that and so one of the boys brought up that he was making his pink t-shirt was going to say Black Lives Matter. And it's all encompassing. It just is so such a diverse and big topic that it covers so many things. So helping kids to realize that people are different, and everybody is valued for their individualism, is really critical, especially at that young age. And whether it's coming from school or home, just trying to build that value system that everybody has a real purpose and real value in our communities and society.
Yeah, it's going to just come up in to me actually. Somebody I know personally said that they're dating somebody who's part Black, and that person was wondering how I personally would feel about it, and I said, well, it's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. My son Andrew is married to a Chinese young lady, and like, I don't care. For me, it's all about how you treat each other with respect and with love, and so that it's never bothered me. And I think some of our relatives are right, and that they're multiracial, right?
Yes.
I keep thinking I'm saying that word wrong. So I'm glad actually that we have that in our family, that we can talk to our children about it, or whether they're young children or adults in my case, to say, we are diverse as a family.
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
extended family. And it's wonderful, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Yeah, it is amazing and awesome. Yeah.
Because your boys, because they're so young, they get to see it in the school and in the family as well.
Yes. And so I think that really helps, you know, if you're amongst people that are different and you see that and you know, they're your friends and they're your family and they're no different than you. They're people and everybody deserves that respect and love. And so, yeah, you definitely, yeah.
For sure. Well, it looks like we're out of time, Julie, but I appreciate you doing this with me. It's great.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you very much.
And I think I'm glad that we had this chance because I think it's good for the audience to hear what the school system in your area is like. And it's probably pretty common across the province, right? You know, I think trying to be inclusive and not bullying and all those things. So it's really good. So thanks for watching and just stay with me while I say goodbye to the audience.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing my, what did I say? My great niece-in-law and about what it's like for her and with her family and in the schools. And I hope you'll watch the next show. In the meantime, stay safe and stay healthy and peace out, everyone. All right, oops.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.